Welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror movie, and they discuss it. Today we're talking about 2022's Nope, which was directed by Jordan Peele. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Erik.
And, I just want to say up front, this is special, Erik. We did Get Out together, we did Us together, and now we're doing Nope together.
All the Jordan Peels.
Yeah. I know. We've peeled a couple Jordans together.
We did.
So I saw this in theaters. I know you did not, because I think this is like literally when your daughter was born. I'm pretty sure it was like right around that time.
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna go with my neighbor to go see it, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, sorry, go without me."
He's like, "Really? You don't want to bring a newborn?" You're like, "Nope."
No. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah. So I did see it in theaters. I enjoyed it. I liked it. But honestly, what did you think? I'm really curious. What did you think?
One word. Well, one name. Keith David. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, dude.
Keith motherfucking David. Love him. Love him. I was so surprised. I had no idea he was in it, and I loved it. I was like, yes. Too bad, he gets rocked. Like the opening scene.
He gets like a nickel in the eye.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna pull through. I'm like, he's definitely not gonna pull through. When he's like in the car, he's like, Dad, he's like naming the horses. It's like, oh man, that's sad.
Dude, I can't even think. I'm sorry, just to focus on Keith David for another second. I can't even think of as many good roles as he's been in, but his career is, I'm so envious of it, dude. He's got Halo, They Live, The Thing, Rick and Morty. Like, he is all over the spectrum and so many of my favorite things. I'm just like, oh, dude. Yeah, I love. Oh my god, he's in. He's the stepdad from Something About Mary. Like, dude, he's so. I love him.
He was in Armageddon. I remember he was in. I forget what else. He's in just everything, dude. He's in everything.
I know. I'm not even looking at his resume. I'm just like thinking off the top of my head. But he's been in so many movies that I
you said They Live, right? That's probably my favorite of his.
Yeah, god, dude, that fight scene is so good, dude.
Well, isn't he out there Something About Mary too? He was the dad.
You just said that.
God, I'm like losing my mind. I don't know what's going on. It's like, well, when you were talking about it, I was literally thinking of other movies. So that's funny.
But anyway, so yeah, Keith David, dude, he's the dad. Erik, why don't you give a brief little summary of the film?
All right. So, Haywood's Hollywood Horses Ranch, or whatever it's called. No, so there's a horse ranch. I was just going to give the spiel that Palmer did at the start of the movie. So there's a horse ranch in, I forgot where. Honestly, where is this located?
Oh, okay. So this is in California. It's actually 45 minutes from where I live.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So this is a horse ranch in California. O.J. Hayward Jr. Is and his father are working on horses. Their great-great-great-grandfather or whatever was the black man on a horse in the first Nickelodeon film ever. The first moving picture film ever is their great-grandfather. So they like to sell their horses and into sets and stuff too, and say hey, we've always had a stake in film and stuff, which is really cool. There's a weird phenomenon that keeps happening where you hear screaming and something happens, and it turns out there's a spaceship flying around, and we learn through time that it's not a spaceship, but before that they're trying to get this thing on film. That's we're going to be on Oprah. Let's do it. This is how we make money, because they're losing money ever since the dad died with one of these phenomenons with coins and keys and items falling from the sky. And so it's just strange. And they originally thought hey, it's a plane that dropped a bunch of shit and hit your dad. So that's horrible to even think. But pretty much just, I don't know, should I spoil the ending? I mean, it's just so cool.
Well, I guess we can get into the ending as we go, but you did set the stage well for what kind of this is.
One other thing, there's another nearby ranch with Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead. He plays this kid named Ricky, I believe, who was part of this childhood traumatic TV sitcom where they had a chimpanzee that went bananas and killed a bunch of people on set. He lived obviously because he runs this ranch now, and he also kind of secretly tells the story of this legendary chimp or whatever show, Jupiter's Claim or whatever it was called. Or no, Jupiter's Claim is the name of his park. Yeah. And he kind of eggs this spaceship that's not a spaceship, it's a being of some kind, and he eggs it on by getting people to come and see this phenomenon. It turns out the thing just eats everyone, and that's why it keeps dropping coins and stuff. It's just really, really a cool play on UFOs,
Yeah. What did you think it was going to be when you were watching it?
Well, I saw the trailer, and it looked like a UFO.
Yeah.
I just was like trying to put the pieces together of like the screaming noise and the coins falling. I was like, what the hell is that? It made sense once you see the thing eat people and then spit out their like clothes and stuff and belts and whatnot.
Right. So it's like Jaws in the sky, kind of.
Pretty much. And the play in with the show with the chimpanzee and this is like this thing is like a predatory, territorial thing, and so is the chimpanzee that went crazy.
And it's like a beast that you can't tame, kind of thing.
Exactly. So you got to like don't look it in the eye, kind of thing, and they kind of play into that, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so really quick, also before I forget, that's a good analysis, but I guess you can kind of say Pride of Connecticut for this one, Eric.
The chimpanzee. What's the Pride of Connecticut?
What this was inspired. Remember the woman at the carnival?
Oh yeah, Furious George. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, Furious George.
Yeah, yeah, well, dude. There was a newspaper that George hung up in his room because his name was George, and it's like this chimpanzee with like this evil smile, and he had it in his room, and like it just said like Furious George attacks woman. Yeah, that is Pride of Connecticut. Not really though. That's really messed up.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's not really Pride of Connecticut, but like yeah. So we have like the worst chimpanzee attack.
We got Topher Grace, we got Christopher Lloyd, we got the monkey that ripped off the guy's face.
Man, I haven't even thought of that in so many years. But yeah, the woman, I guess it was like she had a visitor over, the owner of the chimpanzee, and like the woman went to meet it, and it got like jealous of the woman. Like, this is my partner, and like attacked her, and like ate her face.
Yeah, well, I mean, from what I remember, the monkey was like, she was like treating the monkey like a kid, right? And she would like bathe and sleep with it and stuff. And
yeah, get bathtubs. Yeah, that's what I remember reading. Furious George. Yeah. Look it up.
Furious George. I've never heard that.
I'm gonna send you the article. Like,
yeah, send it to me. I'll share it on the old Twitter. But anyway, so I thought that kind of definitely inspired the attack, which, dude, like, that's the thing. Like, chimpanzees are like strong, like wild animals, especially like it seemed like on this show, the wild animal was like a part of the show. So like, imagine Alf, but it's not a puppet. Like, it's a monkey. Like, I mean, could that ever be a show, like a sitcom that goes for years?
I mean, no, you can't do a show based on like Dunstan Checks In must have sucked to make.
That's a movie, though.
It must be so hard to work with an ape or a monkey like on set. This is unpredictable. Yeah. I mean, look at another great horror movie, The Witch. It's like VV Witch came out like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh, it came out in 2015.
You look at the director of that. Look up his quote. He's like, "There's nothing worse than working with that fucking goat." In that movie, he's like, "It was the worst experience of his life. Like, I'm never working with a goat again."
I love how we've done so many episodes of this that I actually remember you saying that on this podcast like multiple times.
Yeah, he hates that goat.
I know, dude. That goat sucks. But I mean, what was it, Black Phillip, right? Yeah.
Black Phillip, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, animals, especially like monkeys that are super strong, kind of like humans, like, but just completely unpredictable and super strong. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Don't mess with monkeys and stuff, dude. They're crazy.
Yeah. So the one thing I thought was interesting, honestly, the most interesting character to me is Jupe. That's Glenn from Walking Dead with Steven Yeun.
Yeah, Glenn. Yep.
Dude, he's like, that character's so interesting. Like, he's a child star who survives that attack, who gets to witness it happen, like in the media, because he tells that SNL story about like how like Chris Kattan played the monkey, and he's like telling the story. So he gets to see it through like a comedic lens, even though he experienced it in reality. And then he like moves out to the desert, like near Hollywood, on the outskirts of Hollywood. And he's got a wife and kids, but he's still like has like a reality show or something, or he's trying to get a reality show going on this thing.
Yeah, this theme park. It's like a cool circus, like freak show / I think they call it Jupiter's Claim. It's just like a cool theme park in the middle of the desert.
And it just feels like he's grasping at straws to keep relevant in some way, like he's like has that Dutch couple that comes and sleeps there and pays him and stuff like that. And he has that secret room, like.
Well, there's like big fans of this like story, like this chimpanzee story. Like there's huge super fans that are like obsessed with it. And he's like, people like pay me to sleep in this freaking room.
It's fucking
with, like,
weird
relics. Question for you, and I don't understand this part. Obviously, the chimpanzee goes bonkers when a balloon pops. That's like what sets the chimpanzee off. What was the thing with the shoe? Remember the shoe was like standing upright?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was that like signaling like there's something else going on, like some other phenomenon? Like, why were balloons randomly popping? Obviously, they're probably hitting set lights and stuff. But I was like, is something else going on? And like, is that why Glenn from Steven Yeun? So is that why he's so traumatized about it? Because like, there's something else to the story that like he doesn't know.
He kept the shoe too, because he kept that shoe. If you see it, it's in that room.
Hmm.
It's like framed. But dude, I don't know. I don't know why the shoe. There, people who haven't seen the movie. It's like a blue shoe is just standing up.
Which is like a 1 in a million chance for that shoe to land like that, especially in an attack like this.
Yeah, so it's just very weird. So I don't know. It's just like weird. It's just weird. I'm sure there's a meaning to it, like that, because Jordan Peele, dude. That's the thing. I will say this: the first time I saw this movie, I was like, it's my least favorite of his movies, I'd say. But honestly, second time seeing it, I'm like, I like it a lot more. So I think first time you have a weird reaction to it, but definitely check it out again because it's it's got rewatch value for sure.
Yeah. I guess the shoe thing is kind of like that bad miracle thing they talked about. Like, do you know what is there such thing as a bad miracle? And like, yeah, these are
Right.
miracles that are happening. Like a quarter landing on someone's eye and like killing them. It's a miracle to say that. A shoe standing
Yeah.
up perfectly during an attack like that, that's a miracle. But like, it's a bad miracle. So I think that was a good like theme to this, right? Like to get that photo at the end too. That's a miracle.
Dude, the chances of that with that like weird novelty well thing, yeah, that's crazy.
Like to be over the well perfectly and to like hit the gear at the right time.
And they look at it like if anybody analyzes this, they're like this was real. There's no way they could manipulate this with like computers. Like it's from this stupid Chuck E. Cheese kind of toy thing.
That was probably my favorite part of the movie when the guy who was from The Crow, I forgot his name off the top of my head, Michael.
Yeah, his name is Holst.
Yeah, he's like a renowned cinematographer. Like it looks like he shoots a lot of like crazy animals and stuff. So this guy shows up to a farm that like whenever the spaceship shows up, no electricity. And he shows up, he's like, I got this hand thing, crank, no electricity. And then they just start going like slapping hands, like, yo, this guy just brought a camera that doesn't need. And I just love when they are like clapping hands as hard as possible. Like that was so cool. It pumped me up. It pumped me up.
Yeah, you can tell that they had definitely had that energy. That's the brother and sister. It's OJ and his sister Emerald. And yeah, dude, I like their dynamic was very fun. Like OJ was definitely more reserved, and Emerald was definitely more like outspoken and
outgoing and public speaking. And I felt bad for OJ when he started to do that. Like Hayward was in the filming business before, and then his sister finally shows up. But like she's like good at that stuff, but like she's not caring about the bit. She's kind of like not being professional. Talking about like if you need a good actor, singer, call me. I make grilled cheese. It's like don't plug, do your job.
Well, she said it though. She's like, this is my side gig writer. It's like
True.
It's kind of messed up, but I get it.
Hey,
But
shoot your shot.
Here's the thing. Imagine this, like your parents have a business and it's struggling because they don't really need it anymore because as you see in this scene, they all, as the horse, kicks the thing and it gets everywhere, they replace it with a CGI horse. They're bringing in a CGI horse at the end. So you're like, this industry is dying. He knows this. He has to sell the horses. But imagine like, that's all you know. Like you're born into that. Like OJ and his sister Emerald are born into this ranch. We don't know anything about the mother. We just know about Otis, the father.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Was Keith David selling Otis the ranch? Did he say something like, "Oh, I'm going to get $6 million for this ranch"? It sounded like I heard that at some point, right? Am I losing it?
So Jupe, who owned Jupiter's claim, he offered Otis Sr. to buy the ranch. He was like, hey, I don't know how much it was.
I heard $6 million, which is like, that's crazy. And that was probably like their way out and like to live their lives and get out of this dying business. Yeah. Keep going.
Dude, this is 45 minutes from where I live. And I live like a little bit west of Pasadena. And like, dude, 45 minutes from here, eventually that will become like prime real estate and they'll do stuff with it, I'm sure.
Oh, the land alone, 45 minutes from LA.
Yeah. Dude. So it's not that far. So like, I'm sure it was used for, ranching and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, who knows how much the development will be worth in, a couple of years, whatever. Yeah. So imagine like your Otis or your OJ or whatever, like, what do you do? Like, do you have any real world skills at this point? Like you have to figure something out. And then this alien shit just happens in your life. It's just like, well, I don't know. It's cool that it happened, but like, what do you do after this?
I mean, that's the thing, man. Like you get a picture of a UFO. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, I mean, that's not whoop-de-doo. Well, I mean,
the experience, the story, they're gonna go on tour talking about this, probably.
Yeah, is that? But that's the thing. Like, remember when that Tic Tac video or whatever came out from like San Diego, and it's like, look at this, like the way it flies, like nothing on Earth. I mean, like, I thought that was cool, but like, it didn't. I thought it was gonna be like time was gonna stand still. Like people were gonna be like, oh my god, aliens are real. And that's not what happened.
And also, I mean, you got to say this too. Like, yeah, they got the picture, but they like kind of also saved the day and saved the world, possibly. So,
You think the world?
but who knows? Who knows if this thing was going to have babies? Who knows if this thing was like breaking dimensions open? Who knows?
Right.
Who knows if this thing is growing, like, and becoming like a blob? You know?
That's true. We don't know any of the things. We don't really know when this thing got here, what it is, or anything like that. But the one thing I will say is when it blows up, because it eats the balloon or whatever of the cowboy, which is a big balloon, it pops, which is similar to the balloon popping with the chimp. Anyways,
I didn't even think of that.
balloon pops in the inside of the thing as it's crushing it, and then the body falls to the ground. So they're gonna find the body, so they're gonna have that. But they also, the news shows up immediately, like while they're fighting it. Said like, we're here live at Jupiter's claim and we found this like thing. It's just like, oh my god, how'd they get there that fast? That was crazy.
Well, they're already getting people there. Like, I don't know if it was TMZ or what, but like that could be like a government person. Like she says TMZ, like it's fucking TMZ, but like who knows what the hell that guy was?
Yeah,
But it looked like he had a lot of money based on the 2 cameras he had on his hand and like his helmet and his bike. He's like, this guy's like clearly into the business of this stuff.
okay. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, I heard this online, but I just want to say it's kind of cool connection. The character who's on the bike's name is Ryder Muybridge, or whatever. I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong, but Ryder Muybridge. Okay. The guy who filmed the original African American Man on the Horse, his name was Edward Muybridge. So it's his same name. It's kind of, I think that, obviously it's intentional.
Oh shit! So it's like all these great grandkids are coming together. It's like that's a bad miracle right there.
Well, it's like this guy's on the guy on the bike's on the camera. He's trying to almost like take the glory for himself of like what's going on.
The great grandfather. Yeah.
I did not come up with
Probably
that.
didn't give the great grandfather a dime for that damn shot either. That's like the first film ever.
That's what they said. They're like, the guy who filmed it got all the credit, but not the guy who's on the horse. Like, nobody knows his name. It's like, and that was our grandfather. Like, that was the whole thing.
Dude, what a nice little Easter egg.
I did not connect that. I'm just saying.
If you came up with that, it's like, how the fuck would you know? They didn't even say his name in the movie. It's like, no, I swear to God, Eric. I swear to God. I didn't Google it.
In the credits.
It's like, I don't believe you for a damn second. Yeah, that's sick.
But yeah, so I mean, I think there's so much you got to look more into for this movie. But little cool things I thought were awesome. Corey Hart song playing slow as the car's battery's dying.
Yeah, I love that. That was a cool song.
I absolutely love that kind of stuff. The other thing, the character Angel, I liked him. I thought he was pretty funny. But the one thing...
It was funny.
Yeah, but the one thing, dude, that's so cool. I didn't even realize this. So you know how he works at a place called Fry's Electronics?
Yeah. Is it like a Futurama thing?
No, so it was a real store that was kind of more on the West Coast sort of thing. It was not, obviously I never heard of it until this movie. So they're all themed by different things. So like there's one that's like a jungle theme, there's one that's like a space theme, there's one that's like a Western theme, like all this stuff. So all of the rest, they're like Best Buys basically, but they're all themed differently or whatever.
That's cool.
Dude, so I used to drive past this one huge building and it had this massive spaceship crashed into it. And I was like, what the hell is that thing? I would just drive past it every day. And I'm like, it's just this like massive spaceship. And like the whole parking lot was blocked off. And basically I just figured out that's the store from this movie, dude. So that was an old Fry's because they all went out of business, dude, in 2021. So they filmed this. Yeah, in like one of the last Fry's locations. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, probably when it was going out of business because they probably filmed this in 2020, 2021. So that adds up. Yeah.
But anyways, I just thought that was cool. I was like, damn, I always wondered what that was. And I literally figured it out watching it this time. I was like, that's the fucking place I used to drive by. I'm like, oh my God.
Does it still like the building has like a spaceship on it still?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it just there?
But Fry's is gone. The word Fry's Electronics is gone, but there's just a massive spaceship that's crashed into the side of the building. And it's like, it's huge. And it's just like a massive building, like next to this, like next to where I used to work. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's in Burbank. And I'm like, what is this?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, the movie answered that for me. But overall, I want to ask you, of the 3 Jordan Peele movies, what do you think?
Obviously, Get Out is superior. It's the start. It's what launched Jordan Peele out of comedy into horror and into the Twilight Zone show. And like that movie alone is insanely amazing. Us and Nope. Dude, it's just whatever you're in the mood for. Like, I like both of them equally. I think both of them are the less believable out of Get Out. All 3 of these, like Nope and Us, are very like unbelievable movies. Does that make any sense? I know Get Out sounds the most unbelievable, but it probably isn't.
Like taking conscious out of people and like taking over their
I
body.
think that is probably the most realistic thing. Then Us seems just unbelievable. This is like also pretty unbelievable with UFOs, but yeah, I mean, I also like the ending with the spaceship fighting and eating people. At this point, you'd have F-16s like GTA 6, like blowing that thing up. I wish they had that. I thought they were going to show up any second.
It was cool though that it was like hidden in the clouds and stuff like that. Like it was very aware, like, you know, that it had to be hidden or else it would get attacked. It felt like, you know, and that's why it was in a rural area. And that's why it was being fed by Jupe. He was like feeding it people. So it's like they had a little deal worked out, you know, and then all of a sudden it turned on Jupe. It was like, fuck you, I'm eating you. And there we're at.
He's like, I don't need you anymore. I'm out.
Right.
Out the monkey's out of the bottle.
Well, that's why, dude, I don't know if you noticed, like, when he was just like, he's like, I'm going to try and buy these horses back. Like, he kind of, like, changed his subject really quick, and he was like, yeah, okay. Because he was feeding the horses to the monster, or to the alien.
Right. That's when M was, like, looking at the things, and he's like, oh, do you want to know about this? Right. Good, dude.
Yeah.
Good catch there.
Yeah, because I was like, why is he so weird?
I didn't catch this, but, like, obviously you saw the woman with, like, kind of, like, a veil over her face. Obviously, that was the woman who was attacked by the chimp.
Yeah.
They don't say that.
Why was she there?
Probably he takes care of her.
Really? Why would he? He just worked with her.
I don't think Jupe's a bad guy. They kind of made him like the bad character.
No.
But like, he's not a bad guy. I mean, he is
selfish. Yes,
selfish.
he is. He's feeding people. He's feeding people to the alien. Yes, he is. Yes,
He's merchandising alien stuff. And like, yeah, I guess he's kind of the bad guy.
He is a bad guy. I think he's interesting, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's also like kind of invading OJ and M's land and like bugging them a little bit. Like not telling them that, hey, these horses you're selling me because you freaking need money. I'm just feeding them to this thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, he probably wants the land, you know, I don't know, for other reasons too. But dude, wait, you actually think that the woman who survived the chimpanzee attack with Jupe like 20 years ago, he would be taking care of her? Why?
I don't know. Maybe he invited her out. And it's like another traumatic thing happening at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an odd coincidence. I think it was just supposed to be creepy because you're like, why the hell? Why would she be there at that time? But anyways, I just want to say a couple of things before we start to wrap up here. Honestly, scariest part of the movie, dude. I saw this with Ryan Buddy actually in theaters, and him and I together were like, oh my god, this is freaking out. Is when he goes in the barn and the little people come out or whatever, and they're like, no, and like they make the noises and stuff, dude.
That freaked me out.
That was so scary.
I mean, obviously they were like little kids from the park. We learned, but like,
yeah,
that like was like science status. Like that freaked me out.
That got me so good. So that honestly was the scariest part of the movie because everything else was just like, listen, if this thing's coming at you, this massive thing, like honestly, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and good thing OJ didn't have a gun. And these kids would have been dead, like on his ranch. Like, what are these kids doing?
Oh my god, I know.
Breaking and entering. Like they could have eaten. It's like we're in the West, like the Wild West. Like people shoot people.
I know. It's because they stole. It's because Emerald stole the plastic horse or whatever from them. So they're like, don't steal our horse or whatever. It's like, yeah, dude, just go talk to them.
Yeah, he takes out a phone to take like a flip phone that's going to take a shitty picture.
Yeah,
take a picture of that, and like that could have been a gun. That was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say anything you didn't like in this movie.
Yes. So okay. Alien can shut off electricity. You're like, okay, that makes sense. So anywhere he goes, you can shut off electricity or whatever. You're going to tell me that they have 2 cameras set up and the alien just happens to know when the praying mantis is on the camera and that's when it comes. I'm like, this is too much coincidence at one time. This is too much. Just shut them both down. Do something else, but that's too much, for them to have a cricket just go there and that's why they can't see it.
You know what I thought was going to happen with that? That was like a piece of it that like it sent out. Like that's a decoy. But like why would it be that self-aware of like its picture being taken? But yeah, that's a good point. That was probably the most like annoying scene. But it builds up a lot of tension. Like, oh man, get the hell off, you praying mantis thing.
Yeah.
But like didn't they say like when's the last time you saw a praying mantis out here or something like that, right?
I know it was just like that. Yeah, that was all just too coincidental. That like, hey, one of the cameras down, but the other one has a praying mantis on it. There's nothing to do with this alien, but it just so happens to be the reason you can't see the alien.
Also, Angel calls in. It's like, Angel, you're fucking spying on us, dude.
Yeah, it's like, you work at Best Buy.
You're gonna get fired. I know this kid like doesn't care. Like he's like,
no.
He like screams the second he's delivering stuff because he's like, my girlfriend just broke up with me. I loved his character. I thought he was a great addition.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Uh,
Really quick, the other thing I did not like was Holst killing himself. I'm like, what? Why? Why?
He got the shot. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna say this. I love Michael Wincott. I didn't care that he died. I didn't care too much about this character. He wanted what was the word they used? Like, you got to be like the sacrifice, or like you got to do the unthinkable, or whatever. What was the thing he said? I forgot. It was always cheesy.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I did see. If you watch when Angel's rolling on the ground, it looks like you see a film canister roll down the hill too, meaning the film could possibly survive. If you watch it again ever, keep an eye out for that like circular thing gets spit out.
I think you're right.
Because I'm like, oh shit, that film could still exist. So I think that was a nice little Easter egg. But the other thing I didn't like was where like Michael Wincott does like the Jaws singing of like Purple People Eater. I honestly visibly hurt my eyes rolling them at that scene. And I do like Michael Wincott. So, but that was the corniest shit ever. I wish they left that out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that.
It was a one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. Oh, just shut up. No.
It's kind of like Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood at the end. It's a little bit like that.
It's a little over the top. Just a hint.
Yeah. The only time it ever works is like Johnny Cash, kind of like late, like very old, smoky Johnny Cash kind of voice. But anyways, I like that guy's voice a lot, but not singing. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah, but like you call this guy, like, hey, I got a job for you. Like, just kids, like straight up, like he's like, you don't want to do this.
I mean, but he, but he thought about it.
Yeah, he knew exactly what they were asking for. I think.
Yeah.
You got that feeling like, why would these people call me unless they had something?
Yeah, I mean, and then eventually you saw it on the news too, that like something's going on up there. So I mean, it all made sense, dude. Like this movie definitely has rewatch value. And like before we take off, like definitely check this out. Like even though I don't think it made as big of a splash, obviously, as Get Out or maybe even as Us, but I still think this was a very good third try, for Jordan Peele, and I'm looking forward to his next one.
5 years from now, you forgot about this movie a little bit. You want to watch a Jordan Peele movie, not Get Out. Which one you watching? Nope or Us? Be honest.
I think Nope.
You think Nope?
Yeah. I might be a little biased because we just watched it, but I think I like Nope.
I'm like leaning towards liking this more. I feel like I'd show this one to Shannon before I showed her Us. I'd show other people Nope before Us.
This one's more straightforward. I think Get Out is more accessible to the mainstream, and this one's more like, hey, you like aliens? Like, hey, there's a bit of a twist. It's almost like an M. Night Shyamalan, but like
there's a twist. This UFO isn't a UFO.
It's an alien.
It could be an interdimensional being. I don't know, but like it's alive. It's not a spaceship.
You ready? You ready for this?
Oh,
I did not come up with this either. Nope, not of planet Earth. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun. But I do like when they say nope in this too, like when he like tries to like get out of the car, he's like, nope.
Yeah,
like,
that's great.
Not gonna
happen. All right. Well, anyways, you got any last minute thoughts?
Yeah, just love this concept. I like the idea. I like the like they went all in. They're like, hey, we're doing this movie. Like obviously Jordan Peele had full control over this movie, and you felt it. So it was his idea going, like he was doing it.
It's very cool. No, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you did too. Yeah, but you're right. Definitely it was his own movie. So it's going to be our 300th episode next week, which is insane.
In the membrane.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to figure that out. So I guess we will maybe announce something on Twitter, or I'm not really sure, but...
You want to like bake a cake or something?
Well, no, I just like... yeah, we could do that. But I mean, like for what we're gonna do for the episode for next week, we might do a surprise, or we might just stick to we'll announce it on Twitter.
I'll bake a cake and I'll eat it 2,000 miles away from you.
You could do that too, but I'm saying for the episode because we usually spin the wheel,
Yeah.
Anyways, so everybody, thank you very much for listening into our episode on Nope, and we will talk to you all next Monday with something. We'll see what it is.
I don't know. Muppets Take Manhattan. What could it be, Alec?
Probably not that, but...
I'm kidding.
All right.
Woo!